Super salty. Super salty alert. Warning that this review is going to contain massive amounts of sodium. Just gonna throw that out there. If you cannot handle that much sodium, I would recommend just waiting until the end of the video. Why? Why do I have to review these things? Ew. Hello again, fellow YouTubers. Saul and Pleasant for Team O.M.G. Vanguard, reviewing clans. Today we review Go Paladin. God, I hate this clan. I really hate this clan. I'm gonna try to not be biased. The key word there is try. What do golds... Let's talk about what golds really focus on. Golds have the concept of, let's call out rear guards, and specifically get power for it. And you may be thinking, wow, that sounds like Royal Paladins. Yup. Difference being, Royal Paladins tend to have this thought of, we just give specific amount of powers and divvy it up to rear guards and just kind of focus on getting out rear guards just to kind of divvy up that power and then have the Vanguard do a lot of the work. Golds kind of do that. Except they just get power from effortlessly calling. When I say lack of effort, it's because these things don't even really try. They just spam call. That's really what they do. And you may think, well, Royals do that, yes, but Royals also kind of have the idea of, hey, we want specific units out on the field. Much like the Garmar Wolfpack deck. Anything to do with Blaster Blade. You want specific units out so you can get things done. Even Jewel Knights kind of want more specific units out, and Jewel Knights kind of suck anyway. Royals don't care what's out on the field. No, Golds don't care what's out on the field as long as they've done a skill to call something out, and then they just get power for it. We'll talk about specific units I dislike, and specific units that are good in Gold Paladins. Let's just talk about where they started. They started out because, I guess, Royals, Kagurus, and Shadows got too popular, so we made Gold Paladins and Narukami. We'll talk about Narukami in a different video, and Kagura in a different video. So we got Golds to replace Royals and Shadows. What were our concepts? Well, we had Spectral Duke, a thing that was so freaking ridiculous and took over so many tournaments that everybody thought it was the second coming of the end, and like it was the best thing ever. And not gonna lie, I didn't really get it. I never really got why everybody thought Spectral Duke was so good. Like, it was just a Gold Paladin, Shadow Paladin thing. It was really Shadow Paladin in a different clan. And people were like, no, it's really good. And I guess you can see why, because Gold specifically focus on spamming out units, so having a unit that kills units, and then you call out more units to replace those, yeah, but Revengers do that now, so meh. And I never really saw the hype about Spectral Duke. I guess I never really got it. Did I think it was a good deck? Absolutely. Like, Spectral Duke was one of those decks that I was okay with. And one of my friends specifically had a deck that had Duke and the other main unit, Azel, together, and I didn't actually mind it, because Spectral Duke was actually a ride chain, and people were afraid of a ride chain, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, Manji and T will both state that they hated Spectral Duke, and I'm just like, meh. It was Spectral Duke. And I lost to Spectral Duke a good amount of times, and I didn't really mind it. Like, Spectral Duke was a good deck. And it's a real shame it died horribly. It no longer exists. And my friends rejoice. And the card I really hated, actually, I always hated Azel. Incandescent Line Blonde Azel basically said, hey, I get power because I have rear guards, which is Alfred, except more ridiculous, because when you call out a rear guard, you get that rear guard's power. Stop it, Azel. Stop it. Then Season 3 kind of rolls around and we get Liberators! We get an archetype! And good God, do I hate this archetype. I really hate Liberators, because they take Azel and then just make it more ridiculous. And they took the fun stuff out of Royals and put it in Golds, and I'm like, God dang it, Liberators, stop it. Stop it, Liberators. And then in Season 4, we see Bluish Flame Liberators, which are more Liberators. And we also see Blaster Blade Liberator just being there, and I'm just like, meh. In Season 5, we have no idea what they're doing, but honestly, I don't care, I just want them dead. I really... Oh god, let's just continue. So, talking about decks, I already, talked about 2 specifically, but... I just kind of already talked about these, so I'll just click on Liberators, but then talk about the Season 2 decks. Again, going more into detail, I will give Season 2 Gold Paladins this. They could mix decks essentially well. Because really, there were 2 bosses. Either you were a Spectral Duke fan, or Incandescent Line Blonde Azelle fan. You could mix those just fine. And somebody did that, and it was ridiculous. And then that certain somebody lost his deck, and then everyone rejoiced, and I was like, oh, my apologies. I will now proceed to be a jerk and taunt you about it. Yeah, I am an awful person. But yeah, they could mix decks very, very well. Again, people fear Duke. I was like, no, hate Azelle. He is more ridiculous. Please stop hating on Duke. Duke is just trying to be a thing. And it was a thing, and then it died. Because Liberators came out. Why are Liberators so good? Because they don't care. Let me explain. Liberators basically say, hey, let's call out units and get power for it. With cheaper costs. And then we'll have Vanguard say, hey, let's get power for having those units out. And that's about it. Still hate Liberators. Still hate them. Because they just don't stop. And Season 4 Liberators are kind of the same thing. Bluish Flame, except... Yeah, there really is nothing different about Season 4 Liberators and Season 3 Liberators. They all do the same thing. Call stuff out, do those types of shenanigans. And why do I hate Liberators so much? Because it's so easy to use them and just get off the combos with them. Like, I was talking before how Shadow Paladins take a lot of effort. Liberators are the exact opposite of Shadow Paladins. They take no effort. There is 0 effort put in to how you play with golds. I could play a gold deck and easily win without knowing how the deck works because the deck is super easy. Call stuff out and you win. That's all it is. But that is all it is. I dropped something, dang it. So, yeah. Really isn't any other gold decks to talk about because really, gold has had 3 decks. Azelle, Duke, Liberators. That's it. They don't have anything else. How do you run golds? Crit. Again. All the paladins work kind of the same. Run crit. That is all you do. Just run crit. Run crit, and you'll be fine. A specific grade 0 that should probably be talked about. Thanks for crashing, Internet. Alright. This grade 0 especially, Liberator, Cheer Up, Trumpeter. What this grade 0 does is put it in the soul, and your Vanguard gets +3 for each unit called this turn, which in Gold Paladin isn't that hard. You can at least get 3 off with this. It's not that hard. And then use something like Garmor, oh hey, I get all the rear guards. This is a very nice booster for Liberators, and, I know Monty uses it, which is good because it's a good booster. And a good grade 0 starter. But god do I hate Liberators. So upon looking, there really aren't any size ones that are worth mentioning in gold, surprisingly. There really isn't that much worth mentioning. Now, moving on to sides 2s, obviously we have our Blaster Blade Liberators and such, but you know... please don't. But you know, we talked about Blaster Blade already. There is, however, I think... Ah, yes, I remember. There is one Grade 2 Royal Paladin, Gold Paladin unit, they're the same thing, that definitely should be mentioned if I can, you know, find it. Where are you? There you are! Ah, Player of the Holy Bow, Vivian. One that so many people have always wanted because it's ridiculous. And it combos with the Sax Axe, which if you don't know what it is, look it up. It's size 1 that isn't that good. It's a grade 1 that isn't that good. What does this do? Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks Vanguard. If this unit is boosted by a Gold Paladin, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck and call it to rear guard. This is the definition of golds right here. Call out a unit. Absolute definition of Gold Paladins. And so many people like this unit. And, I guess you can understand why. But, complete definition of golds right here. Now, I'm just going to put this here because there are a lot of grade 3s that I could talk about, so I'll just kind of summarize most of them. Most of the Azels focus on just having rear guards and then just gaining power from them. And then there's Grand Scissors, which is just pure hate anti-meta, and I really hate Grand Scissors, and we're not going to talk about them anymore. The Bluish Flame Liberators, the Prominence Core, and Glare are just copies of each other. It's really kind of stupid how those two were made, and it's kind of even not worth talking about. Alfred's pretty much... well, Liberator Alfred is pretty much how Alfred originally was, except a Liberator, and he gets a little bit more power. Garmar basically says spam the field. And then there's Blonde Zell, which is still kind of annoying, but still not as hated as Grand Scissors. Go die, Grand Scissors. Please just stop. However, there is one grade 3 that should actually be mentioned. If I can find it. Because I was almost going to forget about it, but then I realized that there was actually a really actually surprisingly good grade 3 that nobody actually looked at. Where are you? I think it's you. I almost forgot about this thing. Say hi to one of the best Gold Paladin units in the entire game. Liberator Holy Shine Dragon. What do you do? Well, limit break 4. Let's see. At the end of your turn, choose a grade 3 choose a grade 3 Gold Paladin from your soul, and you may ride it. And if you do, choose a card named Liberator Holy Shine Dragon from your soul and put it into your hand. Also has the Counterblast 1. Choose a Counterblast 1 Liberator at its aim. When it's used placed on Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, call out a unit, and it's just an 11k. Why am I talking about this one? Well, what happens when you break ride? And then you use this skill. And then you break ride again. Then you use this skill. Then you break ride again. You use this skill. Every turn you're going to break ride on top of Gancelot because you're not using any other break ride besides Gancelot. Because Gancelot gives +5 to 3 of your rear guards. Guess what? You're getting a +10 you are guaranteed a break ride every turn with Liberator Holy Shine Dragon. This thing is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous card right here. Infinite break ride, I call it. It is the definition of an infinite break ride. And it's incredibly ridiculous. And the fact that it's a double rare, that's super cheap. And the fact that nobody uses it is kind of ridiculous because infinite break ride. Infinite. You can do it every turn. Once you have Gancelot and you have this card in your hand, you are going to break ride every turn. You are going to get that +10 every turn. You are guaranteed that. You are guaranteed this every turn, because there's no other cost. You just, at the end of the turn, you have 4 damage. Hey, Ganslot, you're my Vanguard. Holy Shine, back to my hand. Guess what? I'm break riding next turn. And you can keep calling out units with this other skill, because Ganslot requires no counterblast, so you can just use your counterblast on him or on Holy Shine here or somebody else. It's another really ridiculous combo that nobody seems to try, because Liberators, let's just use Monarch and Azel because they're the meta, when you could just use Holy Shine and Infinite Break Ride. Infinite. So, Gold Paladins overall. They're obviously a top tier deck because Liberators are ridiculous and need to stop being a thing. But, where are they, like, just overall? Overall, like, are they the biggest deck to hate? For me, yes, but for other people, I can understand why they may like them. I mean, they do kind of signify unity, and Season 2 really did demonstrate that. I think before Liberators became a thing, like, at least they did signify that Shadows and Royals could come together and become one deck. And I guess there's that, but ever since, like, Season 3, Golds were just like, let's just liberate everything by beating everything else senseless. We liberated you. And I'm just like, no, please stop. Stop countering Link Joker with Grand Scissors Zell. Stop Grand Scissors. Stop it. Monarch Sanctuary. Stop making Omega sad, please. And just the sheer, like, how Gold Paladins have become, I really have just gone to hate them. And you may think it's a joke, but no, I really do hate golds beyond any form of the word. Are there people that are my friends that use golds? Yes, Monty uses golds. He is my friend. Do I like his golds? I think it's more when it comes to the fighter in that kind of instance. Like, as the clan overall, I really despise it, and I really think it's annoying how a clan like this is a thing. But will I accept certain people using it? Yeah. Just because I can't necessarily tell everyone how to necessarily play their deck. I can't. I can't tell them how to play decks. I can't tell them how to play their clans. I can't tell them what clans they can and cannot use. Will I discourage it? Absolutely, because I really hate golds, and I feel like a lot of people should be trying clans that actually take a little bit more effort. But, are golds really the scum of the earth? Yes. Yes, they are. But, to leave on a more positive note, golds are still a very effective clan, and if you want to sell your soul and just be cheap about it, go right ahead, because they're really easy to use, really easy to build for the most part, and they're just all around easy. So overall, golds aren't a bad clan, I just really hate them. I have nothing else to follow that up, I just really hate golds. There is nothing behind that, I just really hate their skills and how they work. And to end this off, the original Azel actually had a bit of a ride chain that nobody really knew about. There was the Grade 0, the Grade 1, Gareth, and the Grade 2, Bowman, I believe. Now, his name was Knight of Superior Skills Bowman, which is funny because he doesn't have the superior ride ability that is common with this ride chain. The Grade 0 Kerf does. Play me out, guys! This is Solomon Pleasant from Team O.M.G. Vanguard with my review on Gold Paladins. This is Solomon Pleasant signing off.